And welcome to KBLP and the Hollywood Review. I'm going to get through this tonight because had a little incident. I brought the office keys home from work today. Oops, had to go back up and take them back. So, thank God I don't live far, so it didn't take long. But anyway, yeah. So, top box office for... Hey, Chris. Hey, Indiana. How's it feel? How does it feel not to be part of the peon crowd anymore? I could spell it would be better, as always. Um, Good? Yeah, I'll bet. I'll bet. Awesome. Okay, let's get right to it because I don't want to run into freaks in the basement. So let's get to it. Last weekend 422. A Quiet Place was number one. 95%. No, yep, no more Shitsville. You gotta love it. Someday I'll be able to say that. Probably won't. I'll probably die before lunch. Probably after lunch. I'll have to work in the morning. So, anyway, number one at the box office was A Quiet Place. That has been really taking over, and that is with John Krasinski. And if they hear you, they will hunt you. But Michelle made a good point of that movie. Their hearing can't be totally because they would be able to hear your heartbeat, so they're not that elite. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'll die. My luck, that's what'll happen. So anyway, A Quiet Place. I've heard nothing but good about this movie. However, there is one other I want to see, and we all know what that is, right? Okay, number two, which was number one last week, was Rampage with The Rock and Jeffrey Dean Morgan, of course. You gotta love that. I was a little hesitant. It looked good, but I didn't want to watch it because poor George at the beginning, I'm like, oh no, he's going to die. I couldn't watch King Kong, okay? Kong Skull Island, I'll be able to watch because he doesn't die. There she is. Good to see you. So Rampage was number two. Number three last weekend was I Feel Pretty. And not great reviews. 34% Rotten Tomatoes. Only 30% from the audience. Exactly. Isn't that true? Congrats. Woo! Excellent. Okay. I Feel Pretty. This is the critics. Has a charming star in the outline of a worthwhile comedy. It suffers from conviction. Okay. It's about a woman who struggles with feelings of deep insecurity and low self-esteem that hold her back every day. She wakes from a brutal fall in an exercise class, believing she is suddenly a supermodel. Of course, Amy Schumer is in this. Michelle Williams, A.D. Bryant, Busy Phillips. That's a name for you. Okay. Anyway, I Feel Pretty is number three this week. So, poor Michelle's at work again. Number four this week, Super Troopers 2. It opened, but it was number four last weekend. It was out for 2 weeks. This is the second week it's been out. I Feel Pretty also came out last week, 2 weeks. Rampage, 3 weeks out, it's number two. Quiet Place, it's been out counting this week, and it is number one. Number five, Blumhouse's Truth or Dare. We've all seen the previews for that. Dawson's Creek. That's becoming... I didn't watch Dawson's Creek, so yeah, me too, Chris, me too. Um, yeah, I didn't watch that, so um, can't say anything about it. So yeah, it apparently. Okay, Blumhouse's Truth or Dare. Not a big uh, consensus here. Only 15% from Rotten Tomatoes. Audience score only 18%. Um, its slick presentation isn't enough to make this mediocre horror outing much more frightening than the average round of the real game. So, not a good thing. So, I'll wait for the DVD. Get it from Redbox for $1.50, right? Why not? Harmless game of truth or dare among friends turns deadly when someone or something begins to punish those who tell a lie or refuse the dare. So there you go. Yeah, I'm not really either, Michelle. So, but apparently Dawson's Creek, yeah, popped out a lot of people. So, um, number 6 this week, Ready Player One, but that's been out for 5 weeks, counting this week. So, excellent ratings. 74% from Rotten Tomatoes, 80% audience score. So, it's a sweetly nostalgic thrill ride that neatly encapsulates Spielberg's strengths while adding another subtly engrossing adventure to his filmography. Um, and again, in the year 2045, people can escape their harsh reality in the Oasis, an immersive virtual world where you can go anywhere, do anything, be anyone. So, very popular. Yes, Ready Player One. That one I do want to see. Some great music in that movie, too. Great music. I wish we had that now. Number 8 this week. This has been out for 11 weeks, however, so keep this in mind. It's number 8 this week. Black Panther, of course, still into top 10. That is definitely on my list to see list. So there you go. Most of these, I'd like to see that one, Ready Player One, Quiet Place, of course. The rest, I'll wait for the DVD to come out, which probably won't take long. Traffic is number 9, and that's only got like a 22% liking. And of course, it's an action-packed thriller. Paula Patton and Omar Epps are off for a romantic weekend in the mountains, isolated at a remote estate. Like this hasn't been done before, right? The couple is surprised by the arrival of 2 friends, but just when the weekend gets started, a violent biker gang turns up and begins to torment them. Shades of the Strangers, right? And number 10 this week, Isle of Dogs, and that's a animation film where they put the dogs on an isolated island. Really? I have not, and I'm sorry to say, I have not been on Facebook that much. But Isle of Dogs, it is high rated, 90% Rotten Tomatoes, 88% the audience. It's a beautifully stop motion animated. Isle of Dogs finds Wes Anderson at his detail oriented best. Charming movie. There's an outbreak of canine flu in Japan, and that it leads all dogs to be quarantined on an island. And a boy journeys there to rescue his dog, Spots, and gets help from a pack of other canines who have also been exiled. And it inspires a group of dog lovers to expose a government conspiracy. So, violent bikers, yeah. Yeah, it's just shades of The Strangers, if you ask me. But what can I say? So that's the top 10 box office for last week. So good ones up there, of course. Three I do want to see, so those are there. Well, one isn't, but what can you say, right? Well, it is, but it isn't. We'll get to that in a minute, Chris, about him. I get my fingers working here. Okay, and we all know what movie opened today. Of course, where were you when the movie started? Where were you? The Avengers: Affinity War. So, where were you? When it came out? Me, I was at work, so there you go. There you go. That is top on my list. Avengers: Affinity War. Of course, everybody is in this one, and bring your Kleenex. You're going to cry. Yeah, everybody is in this one. 93% audience score on this. 85% Rotten Tomatoes. A must see. They're in the fight against their greatest threat yet, and the result is a thrilling, emotionally resonant blockbuster. Whoa! This is an unprecedented cinematic journey, 10 years in the making, and spanning the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. Marvel Studios' Avengers: Infinity War brings to the screen the ultimate deadly showdown of all time. The Avengers, yeah, this is a must-see for me for sure. The Avengers and their superhero allies must be willing to sacrifice all in an attempt to defeat the powerful Thanos before his blitz of devastation and ruin puts an end to the universe. Oh, God, what a cast in this, let me tell you. Of course, Mark Ruffalo, Robert Downey Jr., Chris Hemsworth, Chris Evans, Scarlett Johansson, John Cheadle. Who isn't in this movie? I can't wait to see this one. I really can't. So that is top number one to see. Disobedience is one to watch. That's got a 90% Rotten Tomatoes score. And this is about, it's from Sebastian Lelio, the director of the Academy Award-winning A Fantastic Woman. This film follows a woman as she returns to the community that shunned her decades earlier for an attraction to a childhood friend. Once back, their passions reignite as they explore the boundaries of faith and sexuality. So this is Disobedience. Another one that opened today. I think everything, nothing's going to overshadow Avengers: Infinity War. Absolutely not. That's going to be the number one. Backstabbing for Beginners. Don't know what that means. That's not very good. The House of Tomorrow. Open. That's got a fairly good rating. And 18-year-old Sebastian Pendergast. And that's a Prendergast. I am so sorry. Has spent most of his life with his Nana in their geodesic dome home tourist attraction where she raises